And we are live. Hello, welcome, namaskar, swagatam. You are with the Versatile Doctor. My name is Dr. Abhinav Atul, and I am representing TLB, the Digital City. So, why are we here? You can see these beautiful ladies on the screen, and we are going to start the live interaction of the season 3 of Review Circle. TLB Review Circle. What is Review Circle, you ask? Review Circle is where one author presents his or her book, one single book, and there are three bookstagrammers, those people who have made it their job to actually read their book, imbibe everything that the book stands for, and then give out reviews, give out criticisms, give out feedback. So one book, one sorry, one book, three bookstagrammers, one verdict. So these three bookstagrammers will present their own views about their book, and at the end, we will combine all their inputs into one single review. But this is only what we are discussing about this live session. This entire season has spanned entire month of February. So we started on 1st of February with the introduction of the author Vaishali Menon, and we engaged throughout the month. Unfortunately, our third bookstagrammer, Siddhi, is not going to be able to present her views today on live. But yes, she has also taken part in the discussions and engagements, and we will keep doing this. So, before we go to the author and the bookstagrammers who are present with us for their introductions and for more or less their opinions on what the book was all about, let me just introduce author Vaishali Menon from our side. Author Vaishali is a TLB Prime author. What is Prime author, you say? Just have a look. A multi talented young author joined TLB The Digital City a few months ago. Someone who didn't really plan on becoming an author but ended up publishing a poetry collection and then publishing a fantasy saga, starting with the first book. Meet author Vaishali Menon. And Vaishali is Prime. Because she is not just a poetess and an author, she is a singer and a composer. She plays guitar and she dances and paints. And well, isn't she a sight to behold? Read her poems dedicated to all the dreamers out there in magic in the murk. Then immerse yourself in the fantastical realm of Oggaria in Auroran Pages. Whether you are an author, a reader, or a publisher, Prime membership at TLB The Digital City gives you a unique edge in finding your audience, finding your customers, finding your home. So join TLB The Digital City, join Prime, and get to know the multi-talented and brilliant young author Vaishali Menon. TLB Prime. Be different. Stay ahead. So be different, stay ahead with TLB Prime. So let me welcome author Vaishali Menon. Vaishali, please introduce yourself for the people who are joining us from YouTube and who may not be knowing you as well as we do.
Hi, my name is Vaishali and I'm an author. I've written two books so far. So my first book is a book of poetry, it's a collection of poetry. It's called Magic in the Mug. And my second book is a novel. It's the first part of a series of three books and it's called Auroran Pages. Yeah, and I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to, discuss about my book with our Bookstagrammers.
So we have been discussing about Auroran Pages, Legends of Oggaria. And yes, Vaishali has also written a book, a collection of poems by the name Magic in the Muck. And we will not be discussing that book here, but check out her book on Amazon. It is available on Amazon. And Vaishali has also been an author of the week in TLB, the Digital City, during which time, throughout a week, all the bookstagrammers or the readers in the community in TLB, the digital city, have been able to connect with Vaishali and see what goes on behind that beautiful and multi-talented mind of hers. Now, we are just about to start our actual discussions of Review Circle season 3. So let me present to you Review Circle trailer. So, before we start, we already have 3 comments on YouTube. So, Ruchi says, beautiful cover, very, very, very good. Yumna says, you all look so good. And Ruchi agrees. So, we will have a round of applause for each one of us later, Yumna and Ruchi. But let's begin. So, first of all, let me ask Madhavi to introduce herself.
Hello, thank you so much. Hi, my name is Madhavi. I am a reader, obviously, and a reviewer. And also, many people.
We seem to be having a little bit of technical issue. Just give me one moment. Hmm. Hello, hello. Say something, you people.
Hello,
Yeah.
can
Hello.
you
Okay,
hear
we are
me?
back.
Hello.
We are back. We
Hi.
are back. Sorry about
Okay.
that. Sorry about that. I'm sorry, Madhvi. Your introduction got actually interrupted. So please introduce yourself once more. Yes, we know you are Madhvi
Okay,
and you are a
once
reader
again.
and you are a reviewer. Let's move ahead from that.
Yes, actually. No, I don't know. I'm sorry. Just a moment.
Meanwhile, we have a few more uh, comments. Rose says, editing with the edits as usual. Eating with the edits. I don't know what that means. Bhavna says, Bhavna is the author who will be taking, who will be, as a part of Review Circle season 4, that is ongoing in March. Yes, Madhvi, you are back.
Okay, can we move ahead?
Yes,
Like,
yes, yes.
actually. Okay.
So, with Madhvi, let us move to Sonal. Please introduce yourself with your cute smile.
Hello everyone, myself Sonal and of course reader and a reviewer, and I am quite excited to talk about the book Auroran Pages. Apparently, as I said during my last live as well, that I am exploring quite a few genres after TLB, and this happens to be a new to me as well. I mean, in the review circle as well, I said that I have not read Harry Potter or any other fantasy fictions, and this is kind of way too new to me.
A book enthusiast who hasn't read Harry Potter. I mean, yes, now I have seen
Yeah,
everything in the world.
yeah. I mean, there are very, like, variety of people in TLB, so you'll see more of them.
Okay, so before we reach out to each one of you asking about your views about the book, let me first ask Vaishali to explain what her book, Auroran Pages, Legends of Oggaria, is all about. Why anyone in the audience who has not read your book, who has not seen your book, should go ahead and either purchase it on Amazon or have it on their Kindle and start reading right now. Vaishali.
Okay, yes, thank you. All right, so let me actually tell you the circumstances under which I wrote this book. It was the pandemic, and we were all confined to our homes. And somehow, I think the pandemic was it was a very crucial time, right, for a lot of us. The fact that we actually couldn't go out and meet people, the fact that we couldn't carry on with our lives as usual, it brought in a lot of changes. It brought in a lot of introspection. In my case, it brought in a lot of self introspection, a chance for self introspection. And that's when I realized, like we're all in this journey of finding ourselves, right? Um like, be it very small decisions about, what is the kind of drink that you like, what is your favorite food. Somebody asks you, what's your favorite color? So, what is the first color you think of? You would want to, you know, think of a color that explains you the best. What is this character? How do I want to be portrayed? All of it is, in fact, a way of finding yourself, the kind of job that aligns with you the most, what makes you really happy. That was when I sort of conceived this book. So that is the concept of this book, Auroran Pages, The Legend of Oggaria. So Oggaria is the name of the place, right, that is talked about in the book. And the Legend of Oggaria is about, the people who live in that place. And somehow all of these people, and I'm not just talking about the protagonist, I'm talking about all of the characters in the book, they are all in this journey of finding themselves. And somewhere you see that, their journey intertwines, and it's all aimed towards a common goal. And I think that is very much like the society we live in, like the world we live in, where each of us is finding our own path. And somehow we all seem to, connect at some point. Like, I'm connecting with Dr. Abhinav today, Sonal, and Madhavi. And it's just that, this book is aimed to be a companion to anybody who is on that journey, anybody and everybody who is on that journey. It's aimed to, it may not provide you with all the answers you are looking for, but if it can actually comfort you or just provide you companionship, be a friend uh, at a certain point in your life, I think the purpose of the book is achieved. And I think that's why it's important for everybody to actually read this book, because it talks about a journey we are all on.
Very nicely put. And it is very relatable that the time of the pandemic, 2020, 21, 22, these 3 years were formative and disruptive in all the ways that we could never have imagined. So many things changed during that time. So many people changed during that time. And I'm so glad that you could have this moment of clarity and have this entire journey which you could put on the pages, and now we have this beautiful book in front of us. Before I go to Sonal for her views, let me read out a few of the comments. We actually, comments are flooding in basically. So Bhavna said, "Oh, I didn't recognize Madhavi until she's Madhavi. I I
I am
actually,
right.
I honestly don't understand what language Bhavna speaks. It's certainly not English. Certainly not the English that
Yeah,
I
basically,
was taught in the school.
basically, she didn't recognize Madhvi until she said her name and introduced herself. Yeah,
Oh
Okay,
my God.
okay.
yeah, I
Thank you,
get
thank
it.
you, thank you. So that's how Gen Z talks right now. Uh, I accept. I'm not Gen Z, and I half the time I don't understand what you people are talking about. So anyway, and Rose says eating. Oh my God, like I love the edits. Again, eating. What is eating? What are you eating? Bhavna says again, thank you. I'm honored. Okay, I mentioned Bhavna. So Then Bhavna again says, I didn't
Chronic.
hear. Okay, Sonal is having fits of laughter.
It's not eating, that's eating, if I'm not wrong.
What is eating?
That's like her way of saying slay.
Okay,
You know the
okay.
meaning of slave?
Okay, I should tell I'm not all that old, but even I don't understand Gen Z English.
I am starting to understand after TLB. So yeah,
So
no
TLB is
problem.
a journey of enlightenment,
Everything.
enlightenment. Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
at least, hopefully, by the end of March, I would be able to understand what Bhavna is saying, because at the end of March, I have to sit in the live session with her.
yeah.
Okay, Bhavna says, I
No,
didn't
she
read
talks
Harry.
well.
I didn't read Harry
Huh?
either. Okay,
Yeah, so I
then we
have
have,
company.
you have company. There are so
Like,
many. We will be reading comments all day long. I think there are so many comments. I have watched, but I haven't read. Ruchi says, I have watched Harry Potter, but I haven't read. And then
me too.
Bhavna says, how is he doing so much on live? I got to learn. Oh yes, this is a product of years of practice. You will learn. No worries. Uh, Ruchi says, me too. Bhavna says, he's a magical doctor. Okay, thank you. We should start our focus on Vaishali. I am not the focus of this session. Uh, okay, Bhavna says, I like the way he described with color of the cover. ठीक है. Okay. Sonal and Madhavi, you look cute. That's Rose.
Oh, thank
Beautifully
you.
described. Beautifully explained. Madhavi looks pretty. So Rose is saying you are looking pretty. Rose says, Doctor, eating means doing so good. Like amazing job. Okay, you just that's what you said. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll add it in my dictionary. Yes, Sural, you got me. Diksha says she's inspiring everyone. Roshni says, all the best, Doc. You will have us for the next season. I'm kind of afraid of what will happen in the next season. Okay, okay. No, no, no pressure, no pressure. I can manage.
Mm,
I can manage. So
mm.
let us move back to Auroran Pages, The Legend of Oggaria. Oggaria. I might have been pronouncing it wrong all these months. So, going first to Madhavi. Madhavi, tell us your. Okay, where did she go?
I guess she's
Yeah.
here only.
Okay. Madhavi, tell us in very short 1 minute explanation, 1 minute paragraph, what is your takeaway after reading Auroran Pages?
Actually, this is my first fantasy book. So, before that, I had no idea about how fantasy works, and also I haven't read Harry Potter at all. No movie, no series, nothing. So, I actually kind of like this theme. It's unique, and I also love. And the best thing about that, short paragraphs and short chapters. That's a lot of. So that's it.
Okay, that was too short, I think.
Yeah.
No, no, no. That's good. That's good. So
Thanks,
again,
Madhavi.
same.
Yes, yes, yes. Please go.
The same thing to Sonal. Tell us what your takeaway is from the book.
So, like Madhavi said, short chapters, short paragraphs, they were a big help because apparently I'll be honest, I was very confused while reading the book. Initial chapters, like, they blew my mind. Too many characters to track. So, moving forward, the short chapters were a great help. And then, if we talk about the fantasy factors, I mean, at some point, yeah, as you pointed out, it somehow, gives vibes of Harry Potter. It gives
How would you know?
those
You
vibes.
haven't read
Like,
it.
I have what? I have watched the movies. I have watched the movies. Like, vibe. I'm just talking about the vibe. Like, you know,
Okay, okay.
yeah. So, I mean, not exactly, but yeah, there was some moment that I felt like, yeah, this is somehow, I could say that interesting. And yeah, short chapters were a big help while reading the book.
Good. And yes, as Madhavi said, that since she was not into fantasy before starting this book, and Sonal also was along the same lines. That is why one of them has responded. Like at the first few chapters, as we all discussed in the review circle, that how the first few ones appeared, they were tough. I mean, I put the book down and read another book and then started again. So this is a kind of thing that Vaishali, you might take as a feedback from this
Yes.
review circle, that
Yes.
yes, in fantasy the first few chapters are always going to be packed with character introductions, and that may be overwhelming for a few people if you're not completely immersed into it, and that is something that you have to take care of. I mean, two more books are coming, right?
Absolutely.
Have you
Right.
decided on the names or the titles?
For the other books,
Yeah.
well, the second book, yes, I have. The third book, not yet. It's under construction.
Great. All the best for your coming books. We'll talk about them a little down the line. There are more comments. Diksha says, but you are stealing the show here. Okay. Rose says, yes, thank you for adding it in your dictionary. Who are you? Bhavna says, why are you reading useless comments, not good ones? Okay. Ruchi says, wanna know more about the book? Yes, we will talk more about the book. If you start, allowing us to focus on the book rather than typing idiotic comments. No, all the comments are not idiotic. A few of them are. Sonal is wearing TLB t-shirt. Oh,
Yes.
Diksha has now noticed that Sonal has worn TLB t-shirt. I. What about me?
Let's just say that you are also wearing one.
So, people who might not be knowing, TLB, the Digital City, has recently launched our own, merchandise collection, and the T-shirts are just the beginning. We have T-shirts, we have hoodies, we have oversized, shirts and mugs and bookmarks and everything. A lot more to come. So, check out
Yes.
our website at www.tlbcity.com for more information and for your chance to either purchase or win new TLB merchandise.
Merchandise.
Yep. So, there was a question in the feedback that we received. The question was, do you feel like the main character's goals and motivations are clear or strong enough, and were they flushed out enough throughout the story in a consistent manner? To which there was a response. The main character have good goals. The goals keep her motivated, but I didn't find the main character Ira strong enough. I mean, it were the side character helping a lot the main character and sometimes shadowing her and her real self. Yet she was very consistent towards her goals. So this is another, so to speak, another feedback from the review circle, that the character of Ira might not be as
Strong
strong
enough.
as a protagonist should be. So Vaishali, tell us about the character of Ira, and what do you talk
Okay.
about this comment?
Okay, makes sense actually. Because the way I conceived Ira, right, I really wanted her to be a blank sheet of paper. Okay, I think that's how I'd like to put it. Why a blank sheet of paper? Because a blank sheet of paper doesn't really have its own character, but it can be anything you want it to be. If you show red light onto it, it's gonna appear red. If you show blue light onto it, it's gonna appear blue. So this is also sort of, like Ira is also somebody who is flexible. I'm sure you would have noticed it in the story. Like in the beginning, she's described as a very good girl who does not break the rules, who always abides by the laws and the regulations, whatever there is. But when there came a need to actually break it, like right, like when she had to step out in the middle of the night, she did it. And when she had to, um, follow a stranger into an unknown territory, she did it. Right? So this is uh, that's actually a reason why I didn't want to impose something onto her. It I think it also is aimed to make her relatable to the readers, right? I want the readers to be able to see themselves in her. And that's only possible when she doesn't have something that's imposed onto her. So that is one of the main reasons why I kept her as such. The second reason is to show that, when you have a goal, like she is focused on her goal, she's focused on, finding her place in the world, finding out where her home is, where she belongs. And when you have a goal as strong as that, you just have to be focused on the goal. It's like life will send you the people, life will send you uh, you know, the circumstances
The
that are needed
opportunities.
to, yes, the opportunities exactly that are required for you to reach your goal. So I think these are the reasons why I kept her as such.
Yes, this is a part of something which is called the perfection complex. Your protagonists cannot be perfect gods. I mean, they can be. I mean,
Exactly.
if they are, they just become dull. So this is something I relate with. Vaishali, good job, basically.
Thank
So
you. Thank you.
moving on, which was your favorite chapter? And one of the replies is hard to choose from so many that I liked, but yeah, I'm biased towards book talks. So I'll say that the chapter that describes the library, she forgot the name. So that is the dream, the best dream library every reader would want. So a library is a very significant place in your book that I could understand from the trailers that you have created for your books. Book, I mean, singular, not plural. So tell us about this library of yours. What is this about?
Okay, so this library, you know, this is something that derives from my personal life because a library was always my go-to place. It was my solace because, be it in school or be it in college, when I was really bored, like, even in classroom, when I was like bored or I didn't find anything interesting that was going on, I would just, or even if I just wanted to escape somebody, I didn't feel like talking to anybody, I would just go and sit in the library, because not everybody comes looking for you in the library. Somehow it doesn't cross their mind, right? But yeah, and I would just get lost in the library. And I've always had this fantasy of how I want my library to be in my house, and it was like I just loved a living library. I think that's how I'd put it. I wanted a library to be alive. And perhaps I just, wrote down everything that was in my mind, and that's how the library came to be. Someday I hope I can have that kind of a library, but until then, it's alive in my book.
Right. Does your library have, books that bite like in
No,
Harry Potter?
no, 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 no.
No,
It
that's
doesn't.
that's a refreshing thought. Again, when I read the first chapter very first time, I couldn't understand the meaning behind it, but it left some thinking in my mind. When I finished the book, I understood how deeply this chapter carries emotions and mysteries. This chapter is the key point of the whole book, and that is it. It's my favorite. So one of the bookstagrammers have named the first chapter of your book as their favorite. The first chapter, which some people may have found confusing, and it has turned out to be the favorite of one of the bookstagrammers. That is a very nice thing, right? So moving on, were there any parts that confused you or frustrated or annoyed you? So the answer is I'm reading out the responses these three bookstagrammers have given, a few of them. So I didn't find any part that confused me except when I finished 75% of the book. I found it a little confusing about the places of the book. There's various places in the book and all different characters were roaming to different places. The map would have been a great help. Yes, this is something,
Absolutely, yes.
yeah. Tell us about the map. I know you mentioned something about the map in the review circle room discussions. Yes, now it is time that you let everybody know what happened to the map.
Okay, guys. So this is honestly a blunder from my part. There was actually a map. Okay, a map that I had created with all of the places. Um, Honestly, it got left out, while the book was being printed. So that's really what happened. But I do aim to put out the map sometime, maybe, on my Instagram, or maybe, on one of TLB's channels also. So you can actually get a first glimpse of the map on TLB. So that can also happen. But yes, a map is on the way. It is already done. It's just not included in the book.
Yeah, map is something we should all be looking forward to
Exactly. It
because
is crucial. I take this. Yeah.
hmm,
Sometimes what happens is that you are too focused on the words, you're too focused on, getting the story out, you forget about all of the other aspects, right? So, yeah, I mean, writing this book, it was honestly a lot of pain. It was a pain that I enjoyed, and it was something that, completely got me immersed into this process. That, Mark was like, yeah, okay, chalega, it's there, it happens. Yeah, so that's really what happened.
so talking about the map and what got left out. Madhavi, I would like to ask you an open question which was not in the feedback form. What is the one thing you thought should have been in this book which would have made it a lot more interesting for you?
Sorry, what?
I'm asking, what do
Can
you
you
think?
describe
What is
again?
the yeah, what is the one thing that you think should have been in this book which would have made it a lot more interesting for you?
Actually, as Vaishali said, that map, I have kind of issue
No, no, no.
in the
Leave
places.
leave the map out. We already discussed about the map. Is there something
Okay.
else?
Yeah, I was kind of not convinced with the ending. It should have been better, like kind of some major cliffhanger or something to eager us.
That is a valid point. And Sonal, the same question. What is the one thing that you think should have been in the book, which would have made it a lot more interesting for you?
Uh, Okay, to me, it was the characteristics of each character that we were getting introduced to, like maybe the cafeteria scene or someone just emerging from a library, or like there were some characters that I was, because there are so many characters in each chapter, and it is kind of hard for me to keep a track of all those names. To me, it's basically this person did that in that chapter, and that's how I remember. Like, more than the names, I remember who did what. And so I think if the characters had a little characteristics, then it might have been more interesting to me, in like, because while starting the book, I do not know what is in the ending. It is the starting that will intrigue me to read further. If I
Read
cannot
throughout.
move further, ending would not make any sense. If I cannot even go ahead, like first chapter, second chapter, fifth chapter is my patience. It was like I had to pick it like twice, I guess. Twice or thrice I restarted it because I was not getting a hang around the characters. But then, as Vishali said, you will have to read it with peaceful mind. And yeah, I guess that is when I completed the book, because while I started the book, I was reading it to, in a way you can say, distract myself from whatever is happening around me. And you cannot read this book to distract yourself. You will need solace to read the book.
You need a sole focus on this whole book.
Yeah,
No, that is good. I
yeah.
mean,
Like,
yes, please continue.
yeah, no, like, of course, you need solace to read the book, but to understand each part of it, to like grab how the story is going. Yeah, I think that was something I would say would have been better.
Got it,
And there
got
is
it.
a question that I have. I have not read the entire book. I started it. I read through a few pages, but I could not place the actual genre of the book. I mean, whether it is young adult, I mean the characters, whether it is young adults, whether it is adults, or something in between. Vaishali, please explain to me explain to everybody what this genre is.
Okay, so this is actually aimed to be a young adult fiction. I mean, young adult, as in, young adult fiction in the genre of fantasy, right? So
Right.
there is definitely a difference between, a contemporary young adult fiction and a fantasy young adult fiction. So this is aimed to be, you know, uh, aimed at young adults, and yeah, it is sort of back and forth, as in it talks about all of the confusions that young adults have. A lot of it, I mean, I go through it myself even now. So, a lot of the events, a lot of the scenarios in the book were derived from my own life, from the lives of my friends, from all of the confusions that we go through. So, yes, that is what this book, I think you can place it there. It is young adult.
Okay, okay, okay. I got that. Going through a few of the comments again. So, according to review circle chats, if I'm not wrong, there are like 80 plus chapters, right? Why so many chapters? This is Rose's question for Vaishali.
Okay, okay. So why so many chapters? I think, it does happen. I mean, it's aimed to be a novel, right? A novel usually does go on for so long. But also, one more thing you have to consider is that the chapters in this book are like short. I mean, there are like 1.5 page chapters in the book as well. There are like 2 page chapters. Because, there are so many things happening, like how Sonal and Madhavi said, there are so many things happening, and there are a lot of characters who are actually going through their own journeys. So it's like, something that happens to this one person, it connects to this one person here. Something that happens to another person, it connects to this one person here. And if I have to, talk about everything all together, there had to be a way of, putting them all together. Like, there is a lot to be spoken about, and I can only do that when the chapters are short. So it's more like, rather than longer chapters and lesser count of the chapters, it's like shorter chapters and more number of chapters.
I get it. And in fact, there is no written rule that the chapter should be 10 pages long or, I mean, 5,000 words or something. Every author has a different writing style. Some authors write bigger chapters, I mean, longer chapters, which go on for pages after pages after pages. So there is a complete scene in a single chapter. And there can be authors who have written shorter chapters like yourself. I think it's all good. I mean, it uh, relates to what kind of experience the reader is having, rather than what is chapter number, chapter this or chapter that. Okay.
Yeah, it's more like instead of page breaks, she took chapter breaks. Like if the scene is ending over there, then for the next scene, there's a next chapter. So
Exactly.
yeah,
And personally, even when I read books, sometimes I make it a point to read every day, but I'm really satisfied when I know that I've finished a chapter. And sometimes that does not happen when the chapters are very long, right? I read through half a chapter,
yeah.
and then, and then I go to sleep, and then I wake up the next morning thinking, oh, I haven't finished this chapter. Rather, the chapters are short. I can read a full chapter and then I can go to bed in peace, like knowing that I have finished the chapter. And then tomorrow I can start with a new chapter.
That's a
Yeah.
interesting insight into how you read and how you enjoy reading. Another comment by Diksha. To be honest, all fantasy books take time to get into it, and we have to be very attentive for that. It's even more difficult if you are a beginner, which is mostly correct. Then there is Roshni says, I want to read more fantasy books. I have barely read 2 books. Yes, so TLB, the Digital City, is actually opening the eyes of many of our bookstagrammers, many of the readers, that yes,
Yeah.
fantasy is a genre that is out there. I mean, there is no lack of good fantasy literature out there. I mean, okay, yes, there is romance, there is mystery, there is suspense, everything is there. But fantasy is something. Fantasy is the genre that has that has given us, I think, the most Oscar winning movies, if we talk about Hollywood. Right, starting from the Lord of the Rings, then we are moving on to Game of Thrones. Everything is fantasy. Okay. So Ruchi says, I have read a lot of fantasy books in the past year and I'm really liking those. ठीक है. Which character relates most with you? Roshni asks. Vaishali.
Oh, um, actually, there is. I cannot pick one because I feel like there are parts of me in every character that I've written. But maybe if I really have to talk about one, I would pick Ira because I am a lot like her. Um, and a lot of the things she does, including breaking the rules, are some of the things that I have done as well. So yeah, I would pick Ira, and maybe I would also uh, um, pick Lysa. Lysa is somebody who is actually on the antagonist side. But why I pick her is because, while writing her, she's somebody who's like really strong, right? She's really strong. And, there's this aspect of her when she is really passionate about something, she just doesn't care about anything else. And it's almost as if she's blind to everything else when she's in love with something.
Technical glitch, we got disconnected for around a minute there. I hope everybody is still there, and yes, we are back. So we were talking about what character Vaishali related to the most, and she was talking about Ira in the first time, and then moved to Lysa. And there is nothing wrong in actually relating to the negative character, the antagonist, because these are fictional characters. You can relate with the hero or the villain, it doesn't matter. Okay, now we have to move to the actual rating. Would you like to know how we rate this book in review circle? Sonal, you know, right? So there is a feedback form. There are 30 questions in
Yeah.
total, and everybody the questions are either subjective, like the questions to which the answers I read on screen, and also there are a few rating questions, like rate from 1 to 5. And at the end, during this live stream, we tally the total, and with this total we get a a total score which TLB review circle will give to this book. Hmm. So, any guesses, Vaishali? Any guesses how much has this book received?
Um, I have no idea. I'm just going to approach this with an open mind because honestly, I'm just so glad with the fact that you guys have read my book, and I'm I'm just very happy. I'm very open about it.
Yes, everybody has read your book, and people have discussed about your book. The reading part is okay. The reading part is, I mean, there in itself. But discussing, I mean, all through the month, discussing which page was good, which chapter was good, what kind of things they did not like, what kind of things could have been better, is the actual reason why Review Circle was created in the first place. Review Circle is not just a typical Bookstagram project where Bookstagrammers are given a book and they just read and they just review it. This is an engaging session for the whole month where the author gets a an insight into how a reader feels. It's kind of a beta reading after the book is published. So it's very uh, comprehensive, and of course you have to take it with an open mind. So let me open up this screen, I mean the scoring sheet for Review Circle or Auroran Pages, Legend of Oggaria, sorry. I mean, why Oggaria and Oggaria? What's the difference? I mean, What is the correct pronunciation?
It's Oggaria.
Oggaria. Okay, Oggaria.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of
How
Latin.
did you like think
Oggaria.
of the name? Yeah,
A
how
lot of
did the
things come to
name
you in
come
the
up?
shower. A lot of things come to you when you're having a shower.
Okay.
When you're
Yeah.
having a
And somehow, when you're having a shower,
okay, okay. Usually authors have this kind of insights when they are sleeping. I mean, in their dreams. This is the first
okay.
author I have talked to and interacted with who says that they get ideas in the shower. Okay, that's nice.
Shower.
Okay. Uh, how effective was the author's use of language and vocabulary? Both. There are two votes in this, and both of them have given you 3 out of 5. And in total, Auroran Pages, Legends of Oggaria has received a rating of 3.65 out of 5. So congratulations,
Thank
Vaishali.
you.
Legends of Oggaria has received a rating of 3.65, which rounded up can go mean 4 stars. That is a good score.
Thank you so
Uh,
much.
and yes, of course, it has meant that people have read your book, they have enjoyed your book, and despite whatever their experiences were from the beginning, in the initial pages, initial chapters, they found that everything ties up as the book moves along. And few of the very good highlights of the book were the character of Ira, and also how you have created or arranged your chapters. The chapters are created so that it keeps the engagement there without being too heavy on the eyes, heavy on the mind. Even though this entire concept, this entire legend of Oggaria is like a high fiction, high epic fantasy. Now, before we move to the last, section of our live, I would like to ask Vaishali to tell us about what is coming, what is next in the Legend of Oggaria.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm working on my second book right now, and hopefully I'm able to, bring it out into the world soon. But something I'd like to tell you is it was not the first book that I conceived first, it was the second book. So it was the script for the second book, the storyline of the second book that I had written even before I'd finished this book. And how this book came to be is because the second book actually needed something to lead to it, right? It needed a precursor. It, needed characters that were there before it, and so that it could lead into it. And that's how the first book came to be. So yeah, I think the second book you can definitely expect a lot of. I mean, it's fantasy, but yeah, you can expect a lot of um, intense emotions, is what I would tell it. Yeah, a lot of intense emotions, and it is something that uh, a lot of people can relate to. Something that's born out of real life experiences, very, very intense real life experiences,
Yeah, real life
I would tell.
experience in Oggaria that you have gone to, right?
Yes, yes. Absolutely. In Bulgaria. Yeah,
So
so
there must be a portal in your shower to where you leave Earth and you reach Oggaria. So that's very nice to know. And let us go back to a few of the comments. Uh, okay, what what are we rating? Okay, what are you guessing? I missed one more time. Oggaria. Okay, Oggaria. So people are liking how I say Oggaria. Okay. What's the meaning of Oggaria? Oggaria is a name. It's the name of the place, right? There's no
yeah.
meaning. Is there a meaning?
Yeah.
No, there is no meaning.
Okay. Then mm, all chatter. I mean, the comments are flowing in. If you could see the screen of YouTube, you would see how many comments are actually flowing in, and most of this are Gen Z chat. I don't even understand half of what is saying. Bhavna says, heart shower for you, don't read my texts. Okay, Bhavna has told me not to read her text. Okay, now as we close this season 3 live stream of Review Circle, what is this?
One moment. The song.
Oh yes, 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 yes. On popular demand, there is a song
Yeah.
in the book which Vaishali has been kind enough to agree to read to us in her mellifluous voice. Those of you who don't know, Vaishali is a great singer. Check out her YouTube channel. I wish there were more videos on the YouTube channel when while she is reciting her poetry, or she's singing, or she's playing the guitar. But however many there are, these are fun to watch. Vaishali, waiting for the song.
Okay, guys. So this is a poem, kind of a poem, a song that I've written in my book. So I write poetry a lot. Like I told you, my first book was a book of poetry. So I found ways to incorporate some songs into my book as well. So I'm just reading the first stanza of something in my book. Okay. So it goes like. Lives and tales may die to dust, the stains they make will choose to stay. Battles have been fought, battles have been lost and won. Partake in them we never may. But we're children of heroes dead, we're children of villains long gone with dread. Unfair indeed are the ways of life, do you hear? Unfair are the ways we chose to get here.
Thank you, Vaishali, for the recitation. And as I said, in your voice, even without a tune, without music, it sounds great.
Thanks a lot, doctor. Thank
So
you.
It does.
thank you, Vaishali, for joining Review Circle. And the people who don't know, Vaishali didn't just fall into the center of Review Circle. She actually won the chance to get into Review Circle season 3. How? She won the season 1 of author reality show. In TLB, the digital city, there is a live reality show going on of all the authors, where the authors fight each other to to claim the top position, that my book is the best book out there in this universe. And that competition led to two winners in season 1. One was author Sonali Raje, with whom we had our season 2 discussions with the book Entering Kuruvansh. And the second winner of season 1 was Vaishali. And Vaishali, being the prime author, TLB prime author, it has been an honor and it has been a great pleasure to have been able to interact with you throughout this month, and to be able to know a person with so varied talents like you. I wish I could ask you to actually dance in this on the screen in this live, but that would probably not be appropriate. But I'm actually looking forward to you making a few of your dance videos in instead of the Instagram photos with your poses. So also, thank you, Sonal, and thank you, Madhavi, for joining us, for being with us throughout the month. And we will probably meet again with another season of Review Circle, with another book, with another author. We will keep having monthly discussions with one book of the month. And in that, talking about the book of the month, in March of 2025, we have already started the season 4 of Review Circle, and the author is Bhavna Chilwal. And the book is, what is the book? A Love That Doesn't Hurt. Well, whatever you think about what this book means, what this title means, at least the book is interesting enough to have the imagination and the interest of three Bookstagrammers who are right now reading this book, buddy reading this book and interacting with Bhavna. So with Bhavna, we will be back in the in the next live stream of Review Circle. And with this, I would bid you all good night. Thank you for joining and have a happy weekend. Have a happy week ahead. Keep reading. And of course, join TLB the Digital City. Say it with me. Join TLB the Digital City.
Join TLBcity.
Join
Right,
TLB.
they'll be digital.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Vaishali. Thank you, Sonal. Thank you,
Thank
Madhavi.
you guys. It was
Have
a
a good night.
pleasure. Thanks a lot. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Okay. Vaishali left? Already left?
Yeah, she said bye and she left. So,
She could have stuck around. I mean, few minutes. But anyway,
I mean,
so we had two technical glitches.